Hi, welcome to my podcast where I basically just dump my thoughts, and I have been dying to talk about this for the longest time, okay? And I want to address my gain weight. When I say that statement, it sounds like I'm a celebrity or something. Well, I'm not claiming to, okay? It's actually kind of sad that we have this whole phrase of addressing my gain weight. I don't know. I just want to kind of explore this thought in my head. Okay, that's just what I want. I don't really have an exact script or bullet points for this topic, but I do have thoughts on top of my head because I've been dying to talk about this for the longest time. I've never really just sat down and recorded it and in the setup, in this beautiful setup, basically. So I'm doing it now. This is the biggest I've ever been in my entire life. And maybe it came across as privilege or I'm complaining or something like that. But I'm just telling the fact. This is the biggest I've ever been in my entire life. And, people are very persistent that I know that I gain weight. They're very adamant to tell me that I, in fact, gain weight. And surprisingly, I know, you don't have to tell me that I gain weight. I have cried. Okay, I have to be honest. I have cried. I probably been depressed over it. And it's not because I wanted to gain weight or it's not because I didn't care about myself at all. It's not even because I was lazy or it's not even because I just don't care entirely about myself. Okay. Me and my best friend, actually, we have a podcast together. It's called Hello Die Podcast, one of our episodes. And in that episode, we kind of talk about, our different experiences and perspective on, changes in a woman's body and how, kind of the society view us. Like especially if we're not as beautiful as we look like before. And you can go ahead and check that episode out. I'm going to link it down in the description box below and also in the show notes in this podcast, but it's there. Okay. But I also want to kind of expound more on my experience. Okay. And because I have a lot of things to say that I wasn't really able to say in that podcast, because again, it's me and my best friend's podcast. Okay. So it's not just my thoughts. It was very hard for me to, accept my body and love my body as cringy as it sounds. And I know bodies change, okay? Bodies change. And of course, gaining and losing weight is normal, okay? Like it happens. I want to just go back really in time and kind of my thoughts back then when I was younger. I mean, growing up, I never really had any issues, particularly body issues, because I feel like like in our generation, because I'm a Gen Z. So the oldest year of Gen Zs were born in 1997 and I was born in 1997. And I'm lucky that I didn't really grow up with social media. I actually grew up with millennials more. I feel like the younger Gen Zs have, I guess, a different view of things. And and I can understand. It's actually very hard because like I am very torn between like millennial and Gen Z because I don't think that I have that Gen Z vibe. I feel like I kind of still have that millennial vibe even though I'm a Gen Z. But now I'm actually claiming that I am a Gen Z. Before I really hate the fact that I have to say I'm a Gen Z, especially when I'm younger, okay? Because probably when I was 18 or 19, right? I don't want to accept that I'm Gen Z. If I say that I am Gen Z, then I'm a minor, right? Because like Gen Zs back at that time when I was 19, they're still minors, right? And I want to be associated with millennials that are around 20s, right? And now millennials, like my other classmates and friends, we are almost 30 years old, just 5 years. For me, it's just 5 years. And, we're kind of scared about it. Now I'm kind of more leaning towards being, Gen Z. So I am embracing that. So as what I was saying, I'm so lucky that I didn't really grow up with social media. The only thing that we use social media back then was to post everyday lives. And even on Instagram, it's not like how Instagram works right now. It's not algorithm based. Like it's very simple. You can only see the content of the people you're following on social media. Same with Facebook as well. And you weren't really bombarded with ads during that time. So it was a fun time. And so, yeah, I've never really had that person to compare myself with. I feel like aside maybe with personal, like my classmates or schoolmates that I might have, that could be potential where I would compare myself. But it's not like I was really struggling, okay, with my physical appearance back in high school. It wasn't also my biggest concern. I don't know. I didn't really even think I'm ugly at all or anything like that. It was just so so. I really don't know. It wasn't really my biggest concern. I feel like my crushes was always on my mind. That was me growing up. Okay, and I had my first daughter when I was very young. I got pregnant when I was 18, and I gave birth when I was 19, and I was so young. And I remember after I gave birth, the day that I got discharged from the hospital, I immediately wore this shorts. And the nurses in the hospital were staring at me because I don't know, I was carrying this newborn baby and I was wearing these shorts, and in my mindset back then, okay, I didn't really want to be associated with being a mom. I'm not saying that I don't like being a mom, okay? But that's just what they say. I'm gonna speak in Tagalog now or in Bisaya, for example. Like they have this connotation like you look like a mom now. Like mukha ka ng nanay or muna kag mama. And it's always phrased as something negative to be labeled as. I don't know why. Like what does that even mean to be labeled as para ka ng nanay? It sounded so negative. Like this is what I think when they say this. I think this is the image they're thinking of when they're referring to that phrase of you look like a mom or like mukha ka ng nanay. If you're watching here on YouTube, I'm gonna show a picture here. I feel like this is the image of like mukha ka ng nanay, right? Like I'm talking about the stereotypical look that moms have. I just didn't really want to look like that, or like I didn't want to be losyang. That's the right word. Okay, sorry, I went too long to make a point, but I don't want to be losyang, right? Like it's kind of, I don't know. For some reason, people are expecting that you're gonna glow down or you're gonna be losyang if you become a mom, right? And I was just so scared of that. I had that need to prove that I still got it. Like I didn't lose myself in motherhood. I want to be known as a hot mom. I want to be sexy, not for the sake that I want, man to go after me. I always have this every time. Like I actually saw this TikTok video. I'm going to put it here.
Please tell me other people do this and it's not just me. I promise I'm not like a pick-me girl, but tell me why when my husband tells me like, okay, we have a barbecue at my work today, I want you to bring the kids, I immediately am like, great. I have to get ready. I have to look hot now. Not because he thinks I need to look hot and not because I want to impress any of the dudes at his work. No, I just simply want to be known as Taylor's hot wife. That's it. I want to be a fucking MILF and I want to be a hot wife. And I want people to think that when they see him and they're like, God damn, he's got a hot wife. Good for him. Like, I want that for him, all right? I want people to look at Taylor and be like, good for you, dude. But they're not gonna do that if I show up as my natural like self, all right? So I had to do everything. I had to do the hair. I had to put eyeliner on so my eyes don't look like I didn't sleep last night. Could I have put on concealer? Absolutely, but I don't know how to fucking use it, and I'm too tan for the one I have right now. So I'm working with what I got. But please tell me other people do this.
Which explains so much why I like every time I go out with my husband's friends, regardless if they're men or female, I still want to look my best. I still want to look the hottest. Well, not the hottest, like everything, hot. And that's because I want my husband to show me off. And I'm not saying that he's not showing me off. He does. But yeah, that video just explains it so much more. And throughout the years, I maintain a sexy figure throughout my years as a mom of one. During this time, when my eldest daughter, Clemmy, she turned 3 years old or 2 years old, I started going back to the gym again and I became very consistent. I became very fit. I was actually working on towards becoming a fitness coach. I even borrowed the gym's coach. He has this a thick book about fitness and what I need to study, because I was planning on taking a fitness coach certification. It's kind of expensive. It is expensive. I think the payment was 20,000, and you're only allowed to take it once. So if you fail, then like goodbye 20K or something. So I devoted my time in studying it and really learning and becoming more knowledgeable in the space and becoming a fitness coach. And that was kind of the direction I was heading. And then, of course, it's a bit hard to do that because I need to work also, right? So I worked online jobs and I didn't end up as a fitness coach, obviously. I had a career redirection, basically. So, but I'm not going to go through that process. But at some point in my life, I did thought that I was going to be a fitness coach, or at least thought that that's what I wanted. 2020 happened and I got pregnant. I know, what a horrible time to be pregnant. And then I gave birth to my second daughter. During this time, after the pandemic, I wasn't really active anymore when COVID happened. And even more after I gave birth, it was so hard to find a time to work out because I just have this new baby and I also have to take care of my eldest. And I also started to have new clients for my business. And, I just got so preoccupied with everything. And after like a month of having this new client, we then moved to another place. Okay. We actually moved out from my in laws and we are finally on our own, in this new place. And, there were so many things we have to work on, like, buying new furnitures, making sure that we settle in good in this new place. And during this time, I was also working for these clients. I also have another work. So it was so, so busy. And on top of that, I have this baby and I also even hired a nanny. And so I have to, just work. Things just got so, so busy. But during this time, I was pretty still checking my body from time to time. I was still like, do I still have it? And I do notice that I have like a small pooch, but it wasn't like, oh no, like I have to work out. It didn't really, push me that much to work out again. I thought that, I'm still sexy, And so I never really pushed myself at all to go to the gym. In December, there was a typhoon that occurred in Cebu. And I did talk about that in my vlog. It's quite a long story. It was a hard time. There was no electricity. We really struggled at that time and we just rushed our way back to my hometown. And we weren't really that super prepared during that time, but we managed to move back. And after a month of settling back in my hometown, I then started to work for a new client. And after a month or like 2 months for working for that client, I then took another client. So now I was working two full time work. Okay. And one was okay. Okay. One client was okay. The only problem I had with that client was that he paid me very late. Like he always pays very late. Okay. And I'm always behind my bills because of that. And so that's why I decided that I'm going to get a new client or I'm going to get another work. The second client is the worst. One word, micromanager. The worst. The worst of the worst when we're talking about clients. Okay. I was working for one is like super delayed. Payment is super delayed. Second is I'm working for this micromanager B. It was such a pain in the ass working for that person, to be honest. And, months went by and I was just so overworked. I'm just so tired. Even on weekends, I'm just working and working and working. I actually cringe at the fact that I even post a story that, oh, I was working like more than 7 hours and like, super tired. I don't know why that was a flex. That's not a flex. Okay. That's slavery. I don't know why I posted that. I actually cringe just remembering that post. But yeah, that happened. So eventually I kind of noticed, I didn't really notice that I was gaining that much weight. It was just one day that I was trying on this shorts that usually like have allowance, like it was loose. Okay. When I tried it on, it doesn't fit me anymore. And at that moment, I just realized that, okay, I really gained weight. I really gained weight. And I just thought that maybe it's not that, it's not that much. Okay. Maybe it's not that noticeable or something like that. Right. And, I still continued with my life. I didn't really work out again because I was still, wrapped around work and my family, just a lot of things every day, right? Like as a mother, your task is never ending. And then, one day we then visited my in laws. Okay. And you kind of already have an idea of how that went. Apparently, hi, hello, how are you? Isn't the norm, isn't the basic greetings, but nanambok lagi ka, or tumaba ka, or you gain weight. And their voices are so loud, like, you gain weight. And you just laugh. Like, not laugh, but you just awkwardly smile. That's what I did. I really didn't know what to answer. And let me tell you, before going to visit my in laws, I was dreading going there. I didn't really want to go because I just already like have these thoughts that they're gonna judge me. They're gonna judge my weight. They're gonna like point it out to me. And I just wanted to avoid that whole situation. But eventually I did went because I just also want my kids to visit my in-laws and their grandparents or their great grandparents. Okay. That's the reason why we went there in the first place. And let me tell you, it was expensive, okay, to travel. The back and forth fare cost a lot. The energy exhaustion from traveling with kids is not easy. We actually rode the ferry and it's not easy to bring kids, okay? Like we didn't sleep at all because we have to watch the kids and the kids won't sleep, especially my youngest one. And all of that effort, exhaustion, the money that we spent just to visit them. And you didn't even hear anything like, how are you? How was your trip? Nothing. All you heard was, oh, you gain weight. You gain weight. That was the highlight of everything. That was it. You gain weight. I just cried, I was just so heartbroken and so hurt. My husband had to apologize in behalf of his family because I was just so hurt and I didn't really know what to say. I didn't really know what to say when you're asked those questions. And right now I can think of fucking comebacks, but at the moment I didn't have any. So there's that. That's also kind of unfortunate, right? Like when you have this situation and you just couldn't come up with anything or answer at the moment. But then after this altercation, or not altercation, but after this situation, you ponder upon that moment and you come up with good, great comebacks. And you just feel so annoyed that you didn't say that and you just wish that you can go back in time. Also, I want to make this point. The people that criticize my weight and point out my weight are not even fit, don't have abs, never been fit in their entire lives, and they're the one to talk and point it out that I gain weight. Apparently, it's a normal thing for older generations, especially older generations, and also for older millennials. Because I definitely received those comments also from older millennials. Not really with Gen Zs. Gen Zs are cool. I feel like we're more aware of these things that they're just straight up disrespectful. And I know, and of course, I can empathize that that's how they were raised. Older generations, probably that's the environment that they were raised in. And it was acknowledged as normal. I get that. I get that. Okay. And, but just because it's the norm, just because it's like normal for them, doesn't mean it has to be acceptable. No, it's not. It's straight up rude. And, I didn't have the guts to call it out because I didn't really want to like talk more about it. I just want to change the topic. That was just my mind during the time. Okay, I just don't want to talk about it, and so that's why I didn't really call it out, right? As it is, that it is rude. But I did once. I actually did once with this person. Every time I see her, she would always point out my weight, and she's actually around 50, no, 40s or something, or even younger. She would always point out that my belly is, gotten big, or like I gotten fat. And I just had it, I just had it with all of these comments. And one day I just spoke to her, like, that's rude. And I also asked her, what about you? You have a tummy right now. You've never been fit in your life. I don't think I said it like that, but I probably said, like, what about you? Are you fit? Or something like that. I really forgot what exactly I said, but I said something around those lines. And after that, she never pointed out my weight again. So, like, it's more hurtful. It's coming from your family, or what you consider your family, right? The thing that I wish that I did was, I wish that I call it out as it is, that it's not nice. It's just not nice to point out that, because, like, other people's weight are none of your business. The only exemption that I would have for this one is for the kids. Let's say, for example, I'm always concerned about the kids, okay? Like, of course, if I see kids that are very malnourished or obese, right? Like, that's a cause for concern, of course. For adults, there's also a lot of things why adults gain weight. My sister, for example, she gained weight. She told me she gained weight because she has PCOS. Pills that she's taken caused her to gain weight. In my case, it's just that sometimes we prioritize our loved ones or other people, and sometimes we just, we don't prioritize ourselves at the moment. Okay. And let me tell you, it's not going to be forever. That's definitely not the case for me. So I actually started working out 2 weeks ago, and I feel so much better now. I feel it's just the right time for me to go back to working out again. Not because I received so much like criticism from people or stuff like that. And that's not even my motivation on why I started working out again. My biggest reason on why I even started working out in the first place, like ever, was I want to be the healthiest version of myself for myself. And most importantly, for my kids, because I want to be there for them. I want to live long. And my family has like generational, like my dad with my uncles and aunties, they have diabetes, they have, cholesterol, and basically the preventable sickness runs in my blood. And so I don't want to end up in that situation, because it's something that you cannot really cure, especially diabetes. And I love sugar, so like kind of scared about it. When I started working out, I actually kind of felt bad. Like first time in the gym, when I look in the mirror, like I just thought of myself, wow, I really, I really let myself go. It made me more depressed. It was actually very surprising. And that's because like the first week of working out, it was hard. Okay. Because like the pain, the muscle pain, and like trying to get back on track again, trying to, really build that routine again was very, very hard. 2 weeks in, I've actually enjoy working out right now. And if I don't work out for a day, or like let's say I work out on weekdays, and if I skip a day, or I don't work out for that day that I'm supposed to work out, I feel like I'm missing out on something. Like I feel like it's my day is incomplete. And I'm so happy that I am in that stage, and that I have now a healthy activity. You have to work out, of course. And I'm not saying that it's bad if you don't. Okay. Like it's not bad if you genuinely don't have time to work out. And I am not gonna be an asshole to tell you that like just make time, or like you're just making excuse, because again, it's all different for everyone. We all have different situation and stages in our lives. We all are in different seasons in our lives. Okay. When I first started working out, my eldest daughter, Clemmy, she was 3 years old. I didn't have a business. I wasn't working on anything. I was just working as an ESL teacher. And like I have more time. I didn't really have a lot of responsibilities that much compared now. I only had one kid, and she's 3 years old, and I have a lot of time. And so it was so much manageable for me to work out. And now, when everything that I just talked about, right, I was more, really dedicated with my family and work. And that's okay because I was in a different season. I was still trying to figure out what I want to do with my life career wise. Also, trying to be the best mom for my kids. And, on top of that, I also have to think about like how I look like. So it was so much for me at that time. And now I have more clarity on, career wise, like, and my youngest daughter, she's now 2. It's just more manageable now. And I'm not working for, many clients right now. I actually love my current client right now. And, there's, I just feel like I'm in a better place. It's definitely not the life that I dreamt of, but it is way better. And I'm so grateful for the life that I have right now as it is. I just keep on improving and improving. And yeah, that's just my story. I'm still in the process of losing weight and just really building my strength again. So actually, I'm more on lifting. I don't really do a lot of cardio. I do cardio, but I kind of dread doing cardio. It's just something I have to do. Weightlifting was always my thing. And, getting back at it now and building the strength, it was actually very like surprising to me how fast my muscle memory is. Like in the first week, I was carrying this like very light weight. And then the next week, or like a couple of days, like, oh, it's so light to me. And like the previous days, it was a bit heavy, but now it's lighter. And like, gradually, like every day, not every day, but like every week, I'm adding a few more weights to my workouts. And so, I'm kind of happy where I am right now. But of course, I'm always just all for improvement. I also want to put this out there. I have so much compassion for women in the bigger size, okay? Before, I kind of thought that, like, why are they always complaining about the sizes and stuff like that? Because there are many brands that have XL or double XL and stuff like that. And it's very ignorant of me, right? So sorry. But like, it was very ignorant of me to think now that I'm in a bigger size, it's not really about if the clothes will fit me or not, because there are so many clothes that will fit us. Like, let's just get something that's in XL or large size, right? Then that can potentially fit you. But it's not about the clothes fitting you. It's about, will the clothes look good on me? A lot of these clothes that fit me doesn't even look good on me. This is where I'm going to say skinny privilege is real, truthfully. Because like whatever you wear, you're still going to look good. But when you are in a bigger size, even in medium, you have to work around your body. It really depends also on your body shape. I'm not saying just if you're skinny, because there are some body shapes there might be certain clothes that's not gonna look good on them because of their body shape. But I'm just saying, yeah, if you are skinny, most likely, like, you can wear anything. Most likely, okay? Because I don't want to be close minded here. And so, yeah, like when I started working out, I actually didn't buy any gym clothes. I do have existing gym clothes, but they don't fit me anymore, unfortunately. And but I didn't really decided that I'm gonna wear them for working out because I'm still not that confident with my body right now. And so I just bought a bunch of big XL t-shirts. And, oh, this is going to be my outfit for, working out. And I did wear that. And to be honest, I didn't feel good. I didn't feel good working out while working out. And there are other workout clothes that I found very rare, existing clothes that I have, and I put them on together. And I feel so good when I look good. It doesn't have to be that I have to be skinny. I don't have to be skinny for me to look good. Like it's the fit, how comfortable I feel, and also how that clothes look good on me, even I'm in a bigger size right now. Yeah, just really looking at myself, like, when I look in the mirror and then I work out and I look good, regardless of how I weigh, I feel more inspired to work out and push harder because I look good. And that's just the case. So don't wait until you get skinny for you to dress good. That's just it. It's really all about working your way around your body type. And one thing that has helped me was looking up mid-size fashion. So if you're in the same body type as me right now, maybe, if you look up mid-size fashion, that can also help you, kind of working your way around fashion and, you looking your best in your current size. That's just what really helped me. And that's what inspired me to create content around, fashion. And I do have, fashion content on TikTok. It's really something that I hesitated on posting because I'm so scared of fat shaming comments. It's just something that I'm not so prepared for, to be honest. I'm working my way around it, and I am actually loving my body right now. I'm still learning. I don't completely hate it. I don't hate it as much because I am definitely working on improving my health, my overall health. Okay. I feel like that's the most important thing. You don't have to be skinny. And that's what really worked for me. Okay. When I started working out, I just didn't really think that I have to be skinny. I have to be skinny. I just thought that I have to be healthy. And I was consistent with it and it showed. And, I'm also applying that same thing because that worked for me before. Yeah, there's that. I feel like that's everything that I want to point out in this episode. I don't really know. Okay. Like this podcast just for me to kind of dump my thoughts on things. But yeah, hopefully I've kind of helped you somehow or inspired you somehow to, if you can't work out, there's like, we all have different lives. Okay. Like there are different ways. Of course, you can work out. There are for sure different ways of working out. It's not just weightlifting, obviously. Just really find that time. It doesn't have to be every day. You have to work out like 5 times a week. It can be just once a week, right? As long as you just move your body. That is not, again, it's not about being skinny. It's about taking care of your health, of course, because in the end of the day, no matter how much you work hard, if you don't take care of your body, then you're going to have to make time for your health. I forgot that quote, but yeah, kind of felt stupid by saying that. But like, there's a quote around that, right? Like, just really find a time for you that works for you. Thank you so much for listening to my ramblings. That was long. Okay. Well, yeah. Thank you so much. If you're listening to this on Spotify, please follow this podcast and also subscribe to my channel. If you're here on YouTube, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and hit that notification bell so you're not going to miss any new videos or podcast content from me. Thank you so much and hope to see you in the next one. Bye.